And that's another thing. Look, if you guys are looking to get into social media, all it takes is one video. It's like playing the lottery, bro.
Yeah, literally.
All it takes is one video to change your whole fucking life, essentially. You know, like 8 months later, they're like, hey, my numbers are going down. Well, you're not making relatable content anymore.
Yeah.
It's, you know, and you get lazy.
The simpy dude in his mom's basement doesn't want to see the girl that he thinks he could never have. He wants to see the girl in the Honda, in the shack.
Because they actually think they got a chance.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And with the trajectory of OnlyFans, it's only, you think it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger? Do you think it's plateaued?
No, I think it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah? Well, we're live, bro. So today's guest is Kellan Ness, part creator, part philosopher, part how did he do that? He didn't grow a following by flexing cars or selling courses. He did it by being brutally real. We're going to get into virality, relationships, mental health, and why the algorithm is probably more honest than most people. If you're chasing influence, purpose, or just trying to figure out what the hell works anymore, this one's going to be for you guys. So,
yes, sir.
Let's go, bro. How you doing today?
Doing good. I got to put my Zen in.
I took a Zen once. I was going to a Jake Paul fight and almost threw up. I was like,
really? It's such a Jake Paul fight thing to do.
Yeah.
Take a Zen, go to the Paul fight.
Yeah, I was taking some of the sales guys, like, let's go to the Jake Paul fight, and popped a Zen and went to heaven.
Really?
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just become like a thing that I do all day.
You know, I like cigars, though, so I figured it wouldn't.
Cigar guy?
I'm a cigar guy, bro.
Nice.
Like, I'll rip a couple a week, so I'm like, this shouldn't be an issue.
That's the thing. It's the complete opposite. So Zens are cool for me, but if I rip a cigar, I'm instantly queasy, want to throw up type shit.
Yeah. When I first started, I remember first smoking cigars and like just sinking into the chair and thinking like, I can't move from this chair. Like, I'm cooked. It was a different type of like high. It was weird. But man, let's jump right into it. So how long you been in Miami?
So I got here in January. I was living in Sunny Isles actually I just moved to Midtown.
Okay.
So when I first came out here, my business partner lived in Sunny Isles. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna move out there. I really like that out there. It's calm, cool, collected. But for what I do, I need to be in the mix.
Yeah.
And a little bit of what I do is I'm a partner in the world's largest OnlyFans talent agency called Creators Inc.
Yeah.
And, you know, from my balcony at my new place, I could throw a rock and hit an OnlyFans girl in the head. So it's nice to be closer to the action and not having to drive an hour each way. And my son, he goes to school down here as well, too. So with traffic, I was driving about 4 hours a day. Drop him off, come back, pick him up, come back. It was a lot. It was, 25 hours, 30 hours a week driving.
Where's Sunny Isles geographically for people that don't know?
North Miami, like super north Miami.
Okay.
So if you're in Brickell without traffic, it's 30 minutes north.
Okay. So basically Fort Lauderdale.
It's south of Fort Lauderdale, 15 minutes.
Like half. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so from Sunny Isles to Midtown, where is this? This is like Midtown because you said you're like 4 or 5 minutes away.
This is Midtown right here.
Yeah. So this is Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever live in Brickell?
No,
I
I got a couple. My girl that I'm talking to currently, she lives in Brickell, but
I hate it. Yeah. I live in Brickell. I hate it.
Yeah.
I tell my girl all the time, I'm like, this gives me like high school vibes.
I just don't like getting stuck at the bridge.
It's the bridge, and I grew up in the South, so I like a little bit of space.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never go back to the South, but I like a little bit of space.
Yeah, I grew up on a farm.
Same. Yeah, I called a farm. We just didn't have cows. We had horses.
Yeah, I had a bunch of shit. I had a goose. I had chickens, 4 horses, a donkey named Sheldon, pigs, all types of shit. Cows.
What state?
California. I'm born in Portland, Oregon. My parents split when I was 2. My mom took me to a small town called Galt, California. It's about 30 minutes south of Sacramento, the capital.
Okay.
And from 3 to 18, I was in Galt. Went to high school there. Galt was like a cool family town. Like all the sports. It was like something out of a movie, bro. It's like other than all the fucked up shit like my parents put me through, I had the perfect childhood. Yeah. Cool as fuck, Little League, small town vibes, like all the little festivals and carnivals and we rode our bikes across town and just it was cool, dude. Yeah. I had the same group of friends growing up. It was nice.
Dude, what's crazy too, and to get somewhat off topic, is generationally, like kids will never have that, like what we had, like the last of a generation of like that outdoor exposure, not having to worry about. And how's that like with you having a son? Like, do you ever think like, man, how can I kind of recreate what I had? More of the pros than the cons.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. It's like, my son's 3 years old, and it kind of scares me, but at the same time, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, facts.
But I will make sure, like the other day, like I took him on like a Florida Everglades boat tour
Yeah.
and went fishing.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to get this kid out of the house and like doing something. So
Yeah.
we went fishing. This week, I'm actually signing him up. He loves playing baseball.
Okay.
I
Sick.
take him to the park and we hit the ball. He's cranking that thing. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna be a natural. He likes to play soccer. He likes to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's how I blew this out.
really?
Yeah. Like controlled fighting. It was in the gym.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put him in like taekwondo or
Yeah,
like
jiu-jitsu's
jujitsu or
really
something
good.
like that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that'd be good. I just at my house, he's not allowed to have a tablet.
Sick.
So the only time I'll ever let him use like a tablet or my phone is like if we're on an airplane.
Okay.
And sometimes, I was driving fucking 4 hours a day, so I felt bad just him sitting in
Yeah,
the car.
yeah.
So I'd give him like some educational games or like
Yeah.
YouTube Kids or something like that. But
Yeah.
other than that, like that's out.
How do you? What do you think in regard to parents that just like try to throw their kids on the tablet or the phone because they don't have the patience? It seems like for their kid. Like, what do you think about that?
I think they're lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
I think they're terrible parents.
Yeah.
People say there's no wrong way to parent, but there definitely is.
Yeah.
I think if you just go to dinner and you throw a tablet in front of your kid's face because you don't want to deal with that, I think that's lazy as fuck. I feel like every parent should be absolutely exhausted by the end of the day
Yeah.
because you were parenting.
Yeah.
And if you're not, it's because you suck. Yeah.
What about like nannies and night nurses and stuff like that? What are your thoughts?
I believe in that because like you have to there needs to be a balance, It's like as long as your kid knows that you give a fuck. I just watched this thing from Gary Vee today because sometimes I feel like fuck, I'm working so much and like I almost feel guilty because I don't want to be like the dad that I never had growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to one thing you could never tell me is that I'm a shitty father.
Yeah.
Right? You can call me anything else in the book, but a bad father will never be that. So Gary, like what Gary Vee said today, as long as your kids know that you actually gave a fuck, that's all that counts.
Yeah.
Because like we have to work, we have to grind, especially with high level individuals like ourselves. Like, we take pride in our work and that's what kind of fuels us. We're hunters, we're not gatherers.
Correct.
So as long as your kid can see that and you show up at the times you need to show up, like he's going to respect that.
You think you get that motivation to be such an intentional father based off your childhood?
Oh, 1,000%, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm teaching my son, he reads, look at this. He reads these 10 affirmations twice a day and has them memorized at 3 fucking years
I
old.
saw that on your story talking about affirmations with your son. I was
Bro,
like, incredible, bro.
He reads this twice a day. I'm worthy of love, happiness, and success. I am powerful and my potential is limitless. I'm deeply loved by God and guided towards greatness. Everything I need to succeed is already within me. I'm a leader and I inspire those kids around me. I'm divinely protected and my steps are ordered by a higher purpose. I attract positivity, love, and abundance into my life. I am strong, confident, capable of achieving my dreams. I'm a light in this world, spreading love, kindness, and positivity everywhere I go. I am chosen, favored, and destined for greatness. I love myself. I love banks. I love God. God loves me. I could do anything I put my mind to. Thank you, God, for another day. Amen.
Wow.
Reads that twice a day. Got it memorized. I can only imagine if my parents instilled the same self-worth and love that I'm instilling into my son now, where I'd be.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I would never become a drug addict.
Yeah.
Because I would think about the choices that I was about to make. Because if I truly loved myself, I wouldn't have made a lot of the choices that I made growing up. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Let's kind of transition back into you growing up. When did growing up start? Like as you reflect, you start to realize like that's when adversity and like hard times started to hit.
I never really had to grow up until I was like 21.
Okay.
I kind of
So the childhood was cool because it was a cool neighborhood, cool area.
Yeah, all that shit was cool, but like my mom and dad were always like putting each other against each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck your dad, fuck your mom.
Yeah.
Type shit. So that shit fucked me up. Yeah, until I really had to like go out and live on my own, and my parents like stopped paying for stuff. Was like
Yeah.
around like 20 years old.
Yeah.
So
So what did that look like? 2021? Are you college? No college?
I went to like 5 different community colleges, just like trying to make like my dad like happy. You
Yeah.
know, he's like, oh, he just always made it seem like he wasn't gonna like love me
Yeah.
until like I finished school. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the only reason I went to school was because of him. And then I was always attention seeking. So I'd do like drugs and stuff like that. And I was trying to get attention in all the wrong ways growing up.
Yeah,
You know?
but in the so what's crazy now is I see the correlation of like you went down this negative path of wanting to fulfill the attention and finding that love that you didn't get from your parents, developing this skill that initially you were using negatively with drugs and everything like that, but over time, and what we'll get to is you amass 7 million followers on TikTok. You know what I mean? And that starts leading to millions of dollars of income and skills and things that in the beginning you didn't realize what God was doing, but like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
No.
Like it's almost like he uses our craziest stories and hardest times to build up something special down the road.
Yeah, you know, I have this saying. It's a Stoic saying. It's amor fati. I have it tattooed on the side
Yeah.
of my face. It means love of fate or love of one's fate.
Yeah.
And the Stoics used to say this, and it's what it means is to look at any negative in life as a positive and a learning experience.
Yeah.
So that's been my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
never really understood any of that until about maybe 28.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, brother. I gotta let him fully out, or I'd hold him in. Or
Yeah.
my ear get like
Oh,
even more
shit.
messed up. I can't fly. I can't do nothing. I have to fully sneeze. Sometimes I'll hold the sneeze in.
but you could feel it's gonna make your ear.
Yeah, because it's like air straight. Like there's no pressure. It's air straight through the eardrum right now. But
Yeah.
so adversity and going through drugs and everything like that. What were some of the scary times and like the hardest times going through all that shit from 21 to I would imagine is it 28 when life started to change and turn around for you?
Yeah, that's when I started making money.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I worked so many odd jobs. Dude, one time I worked at McDonald's. This was when I was 21, living at my dad's house, going to community college there, and I was so hungover one day, and this is just a crazy time. And I walk in, and it was the McDonald's right across. This was in Portland, Oregon, right across the street from Clark College, and all the girls would come in there, and I was so embarrassed because they put me in the front. I told them, I was like, I'm not gonna touch the food. I was like, this shit's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
I never ate fast. Well, I ate fast food at a certain point. It's like law of exposure. Once you learn about it,
Correct.
like, you can't go
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
or
yeah.
else you're just stupid. So I walk in there, I'm hungover, and I'm working the front. And this lady, she comes out of the bathroom, and she had a belt tied around her arm. She obviously just got done doing
Yeah.
heroin. And there's like blood dripping down her arm, and she had like trench coats on. She just looked disgusting, and she goes and she like starts sucking on her arm, and she's looking at me, and there's like blood in her teeth. And I took one smell of her, and I just projectile vomited all over this lady, and I walked out.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
I wonder if we'll clip that or something. Let me see.
Yeah, that was fucking disgusting.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah. She just looked at me like what the fuck just happened?
Literally.
And I just walked out. I didn't even say anything. I just looked around. And I was like, damn. I stood up on this lady. I was like, fuck this. And I walked out.
I wonder if she stayed and got a McChicken or
I don't know.
finished
After
her.
that, I realized, like, I got to figure something out. So I went and got a job at a Verizon store. And this guy, Richard Hornian, kind of taught me sales a little bit. And I was like,
Yeah.
I could do this. You know, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I was always like the cool kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just always personable, class clown, just trying to be funny, just trying to get attention. So worked at Verizon a little bit. What else? And then I worked for a mortgage company doing phone sales. I
Wow.
was doing like 200 calls a day,
Yeah.
and that was cool.
That's a grind though. I've been in the dials.
Yeah,
The trenches of the dials is a grind.
I feel
no
like that
other.
builds character. If you guys want to build character, go jump on a phone and start dialing,
Dialing.
smiling and dialing.
Door knocking too.
Yeah.
Dials and door knocks. Just
I
kinda-
tried to sell Kirby vacuums one time.
Yeah, I remember doing a live presentation when my first 2 years in insurance was door to door, and some Kirby vacuum guy came to the door. I don't think I made the sale. I think he came in, kicked me out, made the sale.
Damn,
It was horrible.
that's wild. That's a good salesman.
Yeah, way better than what I was.
Yeah, I sold. What is it? What else did I sell? I sold. You ever get like a piece of mail that says like you're pre-qualified for a car with like a plastic card?
Yeah,
So I used to sell credit card mailers to like car dealers. It's called direct mail.
yeah.
So I used to sell direct mail to car dealerships. I did pretty well doing that, and then that was a whole fucked situation. like crazy. The lady that I worked for, rest in peace, she's now passed away, but she used to like bribe me, bro, like with cars, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Like she had a thing for me, and it was crazy because I worked with her husband and her daughter, and I remember one time, like I was addicted to drugs at this time. They call them perks now, but it was called Roxy's back in the day, and she knew that, so she would give me money for drugs. At this point, I was making like 6-7 grand a month, and I thought this was crazy. I was 24 at the time. And she was like, hey, we're going to go to some car dealerships down in, where were we at? Orange County, like LA area. And so we go down there. We're staying in Laguna Beach. And this is the first time she ever like came on to me. We're staying at this place. We're having drinks. We're kind of like fucked up a little bit. And it's late. And we're sitting out on the beach. And she reaches in to try to kiss me. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you're married. Like, I stare at your husband in the face every day and your daughter comes in. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And she was like, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. I fly you first class. I bought you a BMW. I do this, I do that. I'm like, yo, like, this is not okay. I'm leaving. And then I go back to my room and she goes back to her room. And then I get a phone call and she's like, hey, come to my room. I want to apologize. I walk into the room. There's a chair sitting at the edge of the bed. And she's like in the bed and the covers are like up to her neck. And I go sit down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? She's like, I just want to apologize. And then she's like, sit down. And right as I sit down, she's like, if you're not going to fuck me, you're going to watch. And she fucking throws the covers off and starts finger blasting herself right in front of me. And bro, I just sat there. I was like, no fucking way.
And like, watch, you got to finish.
Yeah. I watched her finish. And then
Bro.
she's like, you could leave now.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So after
Sounds
that,
like Breaking Bad.
dude, crazy. And another time we come back to the office, I was like, I got to find a way out of here. And there's this big car dealership. It's called the NADA, National Auto Dealership Association, whatever. And it was in New Orleans. It's a big-ass convention. All the biggest car dealerships from all over the world come there. And we go there to go meet some clients. And I'm like, look, she was an alcoholic. That's what she passed away from, I think.
Yeah.
And damn, man. I told her, I'm like, look, if we go on this trip, like, I don't want to go if you're going to drink. She's like, I promise no drinks. Right when we get to the airport, can we get 2 double shots of tequila, a Corona for him, a Corona for me? I'm like, fuck, dude. So she makes me drink the Corona.
Yeah.
I had no money at this time. Like, I just spent it all on drugs for this trip so I could be, like, sane and not go through withdrawals. And she starts drinking. We get on the plane. Bro, we're sitting in first class, and I'm on the aisle seat right here, and she's over here. She's like, hey, can we get a blanket? Bro, she orders a blanket. She's trying to whack me off under the blanket. I'm staring and, like, looking at the fucking steward. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's, like, damn near blacked out because she's drinking Prosecco. And then she's, like, in the corner, like, showing me her tits and stuff, like on the plane, bro. And then we stop in Dallas. We get off in Dallas. And then we get on the other plane, and she's just belligerent at this point. And it's, like, the same thing on that. She's trying to touch me. She's, like, still, like, being crazy. She's still drinking. We get to New Orleans, and she doesn't know where we're staying. I have no money to call us to Uber. I had to set up Uber on her phone. We get in the Uber. It was this black guy, and she started saying the craziest shit to him.
Yeah.
Insane. I don't even want to say it on this podcast, but we get to the I book us another hotel with her credit card. We get there, and it's the Hyatt where everyone is staying. We get in there, and she's like calling me a pussy, and she's like, you're fucking gay, blah, blah, blah. Like, you won't fuck me. And she's screaming in front of all the car dealership people. And I'm like, hey, can we get 2 rooms, please? And she's like, fucking 2 rooms? Like, just makes a big-ass ordeal. Whatever. That all happened, and it just ended really bad. And then she threatened me. She's like, hey, if you don't sleep with me, like, I'm going to send this text message to my lawyer saying that you tried to do things to me. And I'm like, oh, my God. So she's blackmailing me.
Yeah.
And so we go back, and then this guy, Darren Sadler, comes into my life. He's like, hey, I want to get you out of that job. But if you want to come with me, I'm moving to San Diego tomorrow. You need to leave your apartment, leave your girlfriend, leave your job. So I got my last commission check. It was for like $6,000. I paid off my apartment, sold my car, and I moved down to San Diego that next day. And then that's kind of where entrepreneurship started for me.
And she just let you leave?
No, she didn't know that I was leaving.
Yeah, but so I'm saying, like, she didn't try to
She
come
just thought
after
I was
you?
gonna. She thought I was gonna come back to work the next day.
But, like, did she, like, keep trying to pursue you after you?
Oh yeah, of course, bro. Like threatening me.
Yeah, that's what
doing
I was like.
crazy
She
shit.
didn't, like, threaten or?
Yeah, I just ignored it all, and finally she just stopped.
Bro, what's crazy, and keep going with the story, is if roles are reversed,
No, that's what I'm saying.
that's a whole case, bro.
Yeah, I called
case.
lawyers. I called everything. I'm like, they're like, no one's gonna believe you, bro.
Exactly.
I was like, you're fucked. I was like, whatever. I just dropped it, and so I moved down to San Diego, and I had $0. These guys were kind of paying for everything for me. I was down there for about a month. I started a business online. It was a cleaning business. I made $5,000 my first month cleaning Airbnbs. This right when this was, I don't know what year, 2016, 17, 2016, right? Yeah, 2016. I got into Facebook and Instagram ads. This is right when they first came out. So they told me, they're like, hey, we're going to utilize all your car dealership connections, because I ran a whole sales team for that lady.
Okay.
And I did really good business, and I made really good connections. So there's this guy, Rick Vidal at Escondido Mazda or something like that, whatever it was. So I go down there, and these guys are like, hey, if you don't close this deal with this car dealership, we're going to put you out, because we've been paying for everything. And like, they really put pressure on me to like close this deal. So I went and sat in this guy's car dealership. I pitched him. He's like, oh, let's do it. And then I came back the next day to get the check. He's like, oh, just made some excuse. And I went back every day for like 6 days and sat in this guy's lobby waiting for him to cut me a check.
Damn.
Because these guys were going to throw me out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get the check, so they threw me out. So I went back to Sacramento, started a Facebook and Instagram ad business. And I was like, you know what? I got to figure out who I'm going to work with. So I started working with gyms. You know who Uriah Faber is?
Yeah.
So he was my first client.
Wow.
Yeah, I
You guys still
walked in
talk?
there. He opened a gym in Sacramento because he's known as California kid. He's from Sac.
Yeah.
And he wrote me a check for $5,000. And my life kind of changed right there. So I started working with gyms. But the thing is, I didn't know what I was doing. So I started working with all these gyms in Sacramento. And I raised the CPL, which is the cost per lead, on Facebook, because I had all these gyms battling. I was getting everyone leads for 15 cents at first, and then all of a sudden it shot up to $10. And then I realized, like, oh, fuck, I have all these gyms competing against each other, and now the leads are getting more expensive. So that kind of fizzled out, and I had zero money to my name again. And I called my dad. I'm like, hey, I don't have a car. I need some money. Like, please. He gave me $4,000. My best friend, Michael Fuentes, put a car cosign for a Mazda. I leased a Mazda. It was only like $250 a month because he had great credit. So I got a car, and then I had $17 left to my name, and I put that in the gas tank, and then I posted on my Instagram. I had a decent following, like 3,000 followers at the time. I was like still like a popular guy in Sacramento, and I'm like, hey, I need to make some bread. This guy, Darren, hit me up. He owned a company called Friendly Farms. He sends me a picture of this shit, and it's like these little jars with, it's called live resin.
Yeah.
It's cannabis. Do you smoke weed or no?
I did a bunch before.
Yeah.
The last year I haven't smoked.
So he's like, yo, come to my house. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to get you right. He's like, I'm killing it right now. I'm like, okay, fuck. I used to sell weed back in the day, so I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I get these little jars. He hands me like these 2 little crates. I post them on my Instagram, and I sell them in 5 minutes. I made $750 my first day. So then I got into cannabis. I was in the cannabis space from 2018 to 2021.
Okay.
And I was selling a lot of weed and stuff like that.
And it wasn't like super like regulated or like
Nah, not really.
governed.
No. Allegedly, I was like in the gray market a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that for a while, and I lost a lot of money, got robbed a bunch of times, and I was like, fuck this.
Was it ever like a scary robbery? Like,
yeah, bro.
you know what I mean?
I had guns put to my head multiple times. I was in situations where allegedly, like a lot of crazy shit just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I So yeah, after that, one day I was driving home and I just had lost like my whole life savings, which was like, I don't know, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was driving home to my girl. I met my girl 2020, and I had both my phones in my hand, and I just threw them out the window. I went home and I said, "Hey, we're gonna do social media full time." And so we started doing social media. I was on house arrest. It was crazy. While I was doing the cannabis stuff, I was driving one day, and I got pulled over, and I got arrested. I had a $50,000 warrant out for my arrest because I got in a fight. I didn't think nothing of it because these guys were fucking with me, and I punched this kid one time and I broke like his cheekbone and his nose, and that happened at a nightclub. And then I guess a year later when I got pulled over, they're like, "Hey, you got a warrant out for your arrest."
Yeah, you gotta be careful hitting people in the face.
Yeah, dude, it was fucked up. I was facing 3 years in prison.
Yeah.
I got 6 months house arrest. So we started doing social media, and I'm on house arrest, and we started doing pranks. Remember the Nelk Boys?
Yep.
So the Nelk Boys were kind of like our inspiration. So I got one day a week to like get out of the house and like go
I had
shopping
Bob
and
Menery
shit.
on the pod.
Yeah, so I would just go film at Walmart, and we were doing like public pranks at the time.
Yeah.
They were doing really good. They started taking off. There's this guy named My House is Dirty. Have you ever seen his content?
Yeah.
So
He's still making content.
yeah, he's blowing back up again right now.
Yeah.
So I flew him out, and that was the first time I ever got posted on WorldStar. And then
I had a World Star little W9 in high school. I did the same shit. I set myself on fire.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Damn, that's insane. So our first video got posted on WorldStar. That kind of took us to 17,000 followers. And then TikTok just started coming around. I was like, oh, we're not going to do TikTok. This shit's for kids. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just post on there one time. It was just a stupid video. We were inside Walmart, and we were sitting there. We were checking out, and I made like a farting noise. I was like, babe, what the fuck? And there was like this old Mexican couple in front of us. He turned around and did like this scrunchy face. And then like he looked at my girl's ass and was like, "Woo!" And that video did 3.5. Our first video did 3.5 million, and then we got 20,000 followers overnight on TikTok, and then just never looked back from there. We hit 1 million followers within the first 5 months on TikTok, and then within 2 years we had 7 million followers on there. Damn. And that's kind of like how I got into social media.
When did it really start monetizing crazy for you? Where you were like,
monetizing crazy? Damn. So right around 1 million followers, I had her get on OnlyFans.
Okay.
And she was making about $20,000 a month on there. We're getting one-off brand deals for like $3,000, $5,000.
Yeah.
My biggest brand deal ever was from YouTube for $100,000. But probably right around like 500,000 followers. My first big brand deal was with Fashion Nova.
Yeah, so I saw that in all your things in your bio, and I was like, okay, so I imagine all these are either business partnerships or brand deals where they pay you, right?
Yeah, so I worked with Fashion Nova for about almost like 5 years now.
Yeah, Fashion Nova.
Fashion Nova. I worked with like McDonald's. I worked with Old Spice. I worked with Dove Body Wash. I worked with Target. I've worked like every major company I've worked with. But where the real money is like selling digital products.
Yeah,
that's
kind of
really
like
good.
what the. Do you know that guy robbed the bank?
Yeah, he's crushing it, bro.
Yeah,
I tried to reach out to him a couple of times, but he's just like ignored me.
Yeah, I've seen him go through the area, and I wonder why like I can't get a hold of him either.
Yeah, I think he's just probably like, you know, he knows that he's crushing. He's probably like really protective of like his energy, and he's locked in.
Yeah,
so I respect it.
Yeah, I respect it.
But I'm like, fucking bastard. Like,
yeah,
I really wanted to get in touch with that guy.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, cheers to him. Love to see people killing it.
So so the digital product, you mean like pushing a physical product through your digital space?
Yeah, of course. Like
kind of like the Pauls are doing now.
Selling like ebooks, courses, like all that shit. That shit's done really well for me. My business partner that I have my podcast with, he did 150,000 last month selling digital products and courses. There's so many different ways to make money online.
Literally,
especially on TikTok, dude. TikTok is a great way, especially for like people that are just starting off in social media. Once you hit 5,000 followers, you can get on TikTok Shop, And dude, TikTok Shop is a whole animal in itself. I think they did 15 billion this last year.
Yeah, it's
in
stupid.
sales. And it's gonna take over Amazon.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I shop on TikTok Shop all day.
Damn.
Yeah, I buy toys for my kids. I damn near furnish my whole apartment off TikTok Shop.
I tried to put something on TikTok Shop once, and I just didn't really rock with it. Or
If
ride
you have
with
a
it, but
brand and you're not on TikTok Shop, you're fucking up. All it
Yeah.
takes is one video to change your life. That's
Yeah.
it. And that's another thing. Look,
I
if
think
you
the
guys
shit
are
I put on
looking to
there-
get into social media, all it takes is one video. It's like playing the lottery, bro.
Yeah, literally.
All it takes is one video to change your whole fucking life, essentially.
So to this day, is your most viral video the fart video in Walmart?
No, hell no, bro.
What's
I got
been,
a
like, the
video with
biggest?
six. I got a video on YouTube Shorts with like 600 million views. That one video got me like 600,000 subscribers on YouTube.
What is it?
It's a video. Man, it's kind of hard to explain. So
Can I look it up real quick?
yeah. It's just
I'm gonna just type your shit in and then hit most popular.
yeah. Type in Alex and Kells on YouTube, and what it is we created like this twin sister scenario, and this video took 6 months to make. So it was right when my girl got pregnant.
Is it gonna be this one right here?
Yeah, it's that one. Stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like this whole twin sister scenario.
Yeah.
But that video literally took us 6 months. That was in my drafts for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just didn't throw it up?
No. Because we had to wait for her to get pregnant.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
So she was pregnant. Because we filmed a twin sister one, and that one did like, 100 million views on TikTok. Or so. I
Yeah.
think my most viewed video is like 100 million or 120 million on TikTok.
Damn.
Yeah. So that one video made us like 70,000 on YouTube.
It looks like comedy just does the best. Off
Couples
of
content,
everything.
like if people want to get started in couples content is like the easiest
To
way
me,
to
my girl
blow
should
up.
just make more like comedy shit.
No,
we make a
not
lot of
Not
educational
if that's
stuff.
not like your brand, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
but like the thing is, like, I think we can laugh about business. You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
run
hell
an
yeah.
insurance company together, but like everybody and their mother is always given like ideas and here's the educational piece. But like legitimately, not everybody should be doing that because not everybody has hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, the thing is, so that's just like to get awareness. That's like
Yeah.
that's like a piece of content just to drive
drive the
traffic.
awareness, yeah.
And then for you, I think if you mixed in that every once in a while, but the life insurance business that you're in is very serious, right?
Yeah.
So if you want people to pay you, you need to be serious. Like educational style content
Yeah.
mixed with just like everything that you are, an umbrella of everything that encompasses you.
Yeah.
Gym, your routines. People, especially when you want people to pay you, they want to know, especially for a product like what you're selling, they want to know that they're getting it from someone that knows what they're talking about, not someone that's just like dicking around on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
So, for example, I worked with this med spa, and all these girls were just doing like these stupid ass videos, like little trendy videos all day. I'm like, if someone's gonna take you serious and spend, because the med spa industry is very expensive, Botox, fillers, all this stuff, like, who are you going to want to do your injections? Do you want someone who's dicking around in the office or someone who's educating you on just everything that's about to happen to your body? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So literally I shifted their mindset, and then they did 50,000 extra in business that month.
Yeah.
And the guy that I was working with didn't want to pay for average. Well, he did, but he wanted to figure out something different. So I took all 3 of his injectors, and I took them from 0, one girl, to 32,000 followers on TikTok in 1 month. She had over 12 videos, over 1 million. The other girl went to like 17, and the third girl didn't take it that serious and still got to 8,000 followers. And like I said, they did an extra 50,000 in business that month just by me coaching them and teaching them how to make content. Once you understand how to make a video and video flow, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be like really dumb to like fuck that up. Once you understand, you just need a hook, a body, a conclusion, and a call to action. It's game over.
Yeah.
All you have to do is have structured videos and make decent content. You're going to do all right.
You start making content, you start capitalizing on it, girl gets in the OnlyFans, start capitalizing on that. When did you Creators Inc.? When does that come about
So,
and how?
a lot of these girls, they don't run their own OnlyFans, right?
They don't run their own.
No.
Yeah, no, they don't want to.
Yeah, no. What girl wants to fucking talk to all these horny dudes all day?
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want my girl to have to do that. She's already having to post like, lewd content online.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? We had a couple people reaching out to us, say, hey, let us help grow your OnlyFans. So we were with like 3 agencies, promised us like the whole world, and we were just like burnt out. They are all liars. They sucked. They took a really high percentage of the business, and it just didn't work out. And then my buddy Jan Lemieux, he reached out to me and was like, yo, I got this Jewish guy, he doesn't simp, he's cool, he's, college graduate, super smart guy, and he's crushing it. So he introduced me to this guy, Andy Bachman, which is now my business partner, and he took her from like $20,000 to $80,000 a month. I was like, what the fuck? And so she starts making all this money, and then she's like, I don't want to be the breadwinner, blah, blah, blah. You need to figure out how to make more money. Kind of just like put a little fire underneath my ass. So I go to Andy. I'm like, hey, what could I do to add value and make some extra money? Because at this point, even with 7 million followers, we are only making $10,000 to $30,000 a month brand deals each and every single month, and it was like few and far in between.
Yeah.
So he's like, bring me creators. So my first month, me being like the, very personal person I am, whatever I do, I'm an extremist. So when I got into TikTok, I reached out to anyone and everyone with a following. Didn't matter what niche or industry you're in. I said, I'm going to know everyone. And so I did. The whole time I was building, I was networking, meeting up with people, collabing with people, bringing other people brand deals, and just trying to add value everywhere. So he's like, bring me creators. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. So I brought him 40 creators. My very first month. And I brought him a lot of the TikTok couples. All these TikTok couples, bro, are making anywhere from 50 to the top one makes like $500,000 a month on OnlyFans.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's insane. I changed these people's lives.
And then so like with Creators Inc. and all the value and revenue you've brought, you just get a rip. You get a percentage.
Yeah, he brought me in as a partner.
Okay. So is there a bunch of partners or like?
No, I think there's like 3 of us.
So is there agencies doing more than you guys?
No.
You guys
we are the biggest agency. We have over 400 clients. We have 800 employees. We are OnlyFans preferred partner. So for example, like if OnlyFans has like a huge celebrity and they see that they are not like, monetizing properly, they'll be like, yo, we know these guys, Creators Inc., bring them to us. Like Iggy Azalea or like Bad Barbie or just whoever,
Yeah.
We have 400 clients. I think we have like 180 doing over 6 figures a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the top earner?
Top earner.
Or how much is the top? I don't need to know who though.
Yeah.
How much is the top earner making?
I don't want to say that, but our top earner does like 1.2 million a month.
Damn. So I remember months ago coming up to do a podcast and this girl leaving, and there was a nice Ferrari parked outside. I remember asking Drew, I was like, whose Ferrari is that? And he was like, oh, that was that girl's. I was like, what does she do? I was like, I think she's retired from OnlyFans, but she also, I guess, had owned or was renting a penthouse in, is it the Porsche Tower right here?
These girls make money,
And
bro.
I was like, damn, bro. And I was like, because like I shared the money with you from the insurance side, but that's gross. That is not net. You know what I mean? Like maybe I net 10% of that if it's a good month, So it's like, but it sounds like in this OnlyFans, there's not like a lot. What are the expenses? You know what I mean? For a girl that's making, 6 figures plus a month, like what are her?
The only
it sounds like the margin's
expenses,
high.
yeah, the only expense for them is their agency, unless they're investing in like a content team. But the content that does the best is raw, relatable, and authentic content.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, like these girls, they come to us and, they're living in these shit apartments and driving, the Honda and don't have anything. And, they're crushing it. They start making, 80, 100K a month. And then they start buying the bags and the cars and they get the penthouse and all that. And then, like 8 months later, they're like, hey, my numbers are going down. well, you're not making relatable content anymore.
Yeah.
It's, and you
The
get lazy.
simpy dude in his mom's basement doesn't want to see the girl that he thinks he could never have. He wants to see the girl in the Honda, in the shack.
Because they actually think they got a chance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And with the trajectory of OnlyFans, it's only you think it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger? Do you think it's plateaued?
No, I think it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's new girls jumping on the platform every day.
Are you guys international?
Yeah. I work with people in Australia, London, Spain, all over the place.
Wow. When people try to attack you morally, one, I know you don't care. You know what I mean? When you're getting bread and when you've gone through adversity in life, you could care less. But how do you kind of piece everything together for yourself?
I'm criticized bro. If you saw my DMs, they're crazy.
Yeah.
I was baptized this last year
Okay.
on Christmas Eve.
Congrats.
And, this is probably the biggest contradiction in my life right now.
Yeah.
Is working in this space and then becoming a Christian man. I believe myself to be a light in this space and bringing people closer to God. Like, for example, like I try to get girls not to post nude content because they don't need to. I'd say about 65-70% of the girls that I work with don't post any type of nude content.
Wow. See, I thought it was all kind of naked and like, hey,
no,
yourself.
that's what people think.
Wow.
Yeah. So I try to get them to just post like bikini content, lingerie content, and nothing more than that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out here that extort these girls, take advantage of these girls, and so we have a very safe place.
Yeah.
To where like, we have a mansion in LA, $7 million mansion that my business partner bought cash, and
cash.
insane, bro. And
how old is this
we have
guy?
He's 40.
Okay, that's still young.
Yeah, super
young.
It's his birthday today, actually.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. We have a recording studio, sauna, cold plunge, state-of-the-art gym. We have a full-time in-house staff that lives there, videographers, photographers, and we just try to really create like a safe place.
Yeah.
We help educate them. We have tax people for them.
Wow.
We have people that help them invest their money.
Wow.
Everything, So in such a dark space, like I really try to be a light here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that I talk to God about often.
It's crazy. I was reading a little bit in the Word this morning, and it was talking about like that the tax collector, which it was referred back in those times as like a massive sinner, from God's perspective or Jesus' perspective, it was like the tax collector is even better than the Pharisee, and the Pharisee is like that guy that just believes he's better than everybody because they are obedient in this way or that way, and it's like. It's almost why I tell, kind of my family or anybody that I'm around, like, don't get deceived by these people posting scripture and talking about faith and church. Because sometimes it's the guy that's going to church or the girl going to church and always trying to rub church in people's face that's actually like the least close to God. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have that guy that's like, got friends that, not everybody would align with or think like, oh man, that guy's a crazy guy or he killed somebody, he's a drug addict, this, that, and the other. That's the closest to God and sharing God's word and being a light in the darkness opposed to like these other cats. So it's like, for me, I feel like church and faith and Christianity and spirituality and being close to God is you being good to God's people. You know what I mean? Like that's like.
Yeah, my dad told me the story the other day of this lady was like at church, and she was the lady she thought she was like better than everyone and like really lived by the word and like did everything the book said, and she died. But she came back to life. But when she was dead, she went to hell. Yeah. And she said it was like people just screaming and reading the word of God, and just it was the worst smell, and it was like the most horrific place she had ever been. Wow. But she went to hell because she thought she was better than everyone. Yeah. And then she came back to life, and God gave her another chance, and she realized that, you have to be nice to people. Yeah. She wasn't nice.
That's the church. The church isn't a physical building. It's people. It's us. We're the church. You know what I mean? Like we're God's kids. So fire. What's your vision, man, for the next couple years, for life, for your family, for business? Like, what's your vision?
So me and my business partner, we want to start a hedge fund where we'll eventually get out of the OnlyFans space, and we will. He has someone who's really good at trading, and we're gonna raise money, try to get to $1 billion, and just trade that and live off that.
Wow.
Yeah. Eventually, you know what I really like? I want to get into real estate development. I think it's really cool to see something come from nothing to something.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool to make content around that. And I think that's really it for me, is just make as much capital now and get into the trading space and just really focused on my son, dude. I just want my son to be my best friend. I want to travel the world with him.
Yeah.
And that's it, dude. Just live like a, I'll always work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I just want to be a great dad. That's it.
Yeah. As we wrap up, what do you think about the Miami culture, pretty much the social media culture of all the guys that'll push a digital product, but then take all their bread and go get the materials first before saving and investing and looking into legitimate ownership? They go hardcore flex, rinse, repeat, flip, hardcore flex, and it doesn't seem like a lot of them invest and save.
I think you need to do that to an extent.
Yeah.
I think people need to go through that. I think they need to buy all the shit, lose it all, buy all the shit, lose it all.
Yeah, because you don't learn the lesson. Yeah.
That's why I say it's very important to invest into a mentor. If I can go back to my 16-year-old self, I'd say find someone who will lead you down a good path and really show you what to do. But, we live in a day and age where sometimes you need a little bit of that shit to like really get people's attention. I wear the big chains, I wear the designer, I wear all this. It's just I don't do this for myself. I do it for everyone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think it's like truly as important as making great content. If you make great content with context, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I rather have those guys do that because it just makes it that much easier for me.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. That's true.
Let those guys just rip up and down Brickell with their Ferrari and just, I don't care. Those guys are just ass clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah.
As we wrap up, I always ask everybody, do you have a favorite movie or a favorite TV show?
Man. Favorite movie? I'm a movie guy, bro.
Same.
Like,
I always hope whoever I've had like 50-50 where people are like, I've never watched a movie. I'm like, what the you're so weird.
Yeah, no, that's like my favorite downtime.
Yes, same.
I got projectors in every room in my house. Me and my son, we love to watch movies, but I'm a huge movie guy. I love anything with like Adam Sandler, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matthew McConaughey.
Dogs.
Any of those movies, but I'll give you like my top 10. I love The Goonies, Big Daddy, Catch Me If You Can, Wolf of Wall Street, Big. I just watched that last night. Sandlot. What else?
Sandlot's so OG.
The Departed, Casino, Blow.
Yeah.
I love all the Harry Potter series. I love, what else? Damn. I don't know. What are some of your favorites?
I have a list of 100.
Wedding Crashers. Great
I'll
movie.
pull up my list real quick.
Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express. OG.
Get Him to the Greek.
Hard.
I don't know, bro. There's so many great movies.
And what's sad in today's day and age, especially over the last couple of years, is like movies have just completely
all these
deteriorated.
Woke, fucking weird ass movies.
Bro, literally
Dude, I can't
deteriorated.
stand it, and the acting sucks.
Yeah, deteriorated, bro. I don't know the dude's name, but he was in Sons of Anarchy. That actor, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's in one of my favorite movies. It's between Troy, that's with Brad Pitt.
Great movie.
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Great movie.
And I relate both of those to like how my dad went to prison when I was 8 or 9, both my mom and dad. And all we watched, he indoctrinated me with these movies, Troy and 300. So we watched all those. Another movie, Ghost in the Darkness. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I've never seen that.
It's about these lions in Africa. And it's based on
Oh
a
yeah,
true
okay,
story,
okay,
bro.
okay. I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, with the kids.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah,
know.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. Scarface.
Great movie.
Which, dude, if you talk to old Cubans in Miami, they'll tell you like that stuff.
It was really like that. Yeah.
It was really like that, bro. Like the Colombians and Cubans were killing each other crazy in Miami. Goodfellas, The Irishman. There's also another spinoff on The Irishman called Get the Irishman, which is hardcore. Wolf of Wall Street, Top Gun.
Top Gun, great movie.
Yeah, OG Top
The
Gun.
actually new one was good too.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I
Yeah,
liked it.
I was like, it's a
yeah, I
decent
liked
movie.
it.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Love all the Star
Ooh,
Wars.
Behind Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hardcore.
Shooter.
Yeah,
with Mark
Shooter.
Wahlberg.
Shooter's hardcore. And you know what else, which is kind of big nowadays, is some of these prison movies that came out back, like over the last 10 years. I forget what some of them
I
are.
haven't really.
Shot Caller.
Great movie.
Bro, hardcore movie. And
Yeah,
like I watched
badass.
it and I was like, are these guys trying to just recreate that, or were they really in there like that?
Yeah.
Because some of that shit looks hardcore. And in a weird way, though, you get so like infatuated with that. You're like, damn, maybe I should go to prison and become a shot caller. And you're like, stupid thinking. Number 10 for me is the Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Love the Deadpool movies, bro.
Okay.
I love that humor.
Yeah. Oh, the Transformer movies.
Transformers.
The early ones. Those
Yeah,
ones were pretty
early's are
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Wanted with Angelina Jolie, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
From
yeah, yeah.
2008. It's like a Matrix style movie.
Where they could like spin the bullets.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what movie I love with Leo also? I don't know if you've seen this, The Revenant, when he gets
Yeah,
attacked
of
by
course.
a bear.
Yeah.
That's based on a true story also.
Yeah, that's insane.
Sick, bro.
Yeah.
Super sick. Last one. Favorite restaurant.
Very, like ever?
Yeah, give me Florida, like preferably near here where I can, if I haven't had it, I can go get it. And then like ever.
Ever? Fuck, man. So I shoot food reviews. So I've been pretty spoiled when it comes to like restaurants and stuff like that.
You like the Portnoy.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
My videos do really well.
Yeah, bro. I was looking at
Yeah, my videos do really well when it comes to the food reviews. I really like this place called Contessa.
Is that a local place?
They have one in Boston. They have one here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the top of the Newberry Hotel in Boston. But here it's Contessa. They got a great steak, but they have this garlic sauce that you dip the steak in.
Fire.
So good.
Fire. Easy to get in?
Yeah. Super easy to get in. Favorite restaurant ever? I don't think I could come up with one off the top of my head. Yeah.
Steak guy?
Yeah, I'm a steak guy.
Yeah. What kind of cut of meat?
I'm a 8-ounce filet guy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I like this. I've been going to Nusret, the Salt Bay place, and they got a ribeye cap, and that's like my go-to.
Fire.
The ribeye cap, bro. Yeah.
Do you like Wagyu?
I like it, but when I got into sales and started making some bread, I just bought Wagyu so much and ate it so much that I was like,
I don't like it. It's too fatty.
yeah, I was gonna say I kind of like overdid it.
If I get a piece of fat in my mouth, I'm the guy who spits it into the napkin and puts it on the table.
Yeah, I need a blend of meat. I like a little bit of fat in there for flavor and everything
Really?
like that, but like too much fat, like the Wagyu, like now it's just like butter. Like if I wanted to eat that, I guess I'll just eat salted butter.
I'm a texture guy, so if I get something like fucked up in my mouth like that, I gotta spit it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Awesome. Well, guys, this was another episode of Adversity Kings Fire. We got Kellan Ness on here, spitting free game, absolute free game, invaluable. If people want to get a hold of you, follow you, or anything like that, where's the best place?
Yeah, so all my socials are the same. It's just at Kellan Ness, Kellan, my last name Ness, Ness. And if you guys need help with growing your social media or anything like that, there's a link in my bio. I got coaching. I got a bunch of good ebooks. I just wrote a new ebook called Unfuck Your Parenting. So that's a really good one. I'm proud of that. And yeah, man, reach out to me. I'm ready and willing to help you guys with whatever. And if you're in OnlyFans and you want a safe place to work, reach out to me and let's chat about that as well.
Fire. Let's go. Peace, guys. Thanks, Kellan.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Nice. That was a good one.